Barnes, everybody, it's the Raw review right after Raw, DA Wrestling. Mommy's back and she is completely pissed. Has a go at Liv. Braun Breaker just dismantled Sami Zayn and Dragunov, setting up probably a SummerSlam match like we called it. Bo Dallas gets beaten up, and then here comes the Wyatt Six. And
And that's the show. See
pretty
you next time.
much pretty much the whole thing. Well, and you know what? Looks like we get that mini feud we talked about last week between Pete Dunne and Sheamus. So first off, though, let's talk about the Mommy return though, because that's the biggest thing going on here right now. Very heavy Judgment Day, very heavy Rhea Ripley, which is great to see. I mean, she got a bloody hero's walk when she came out, and she was looking quite the dominatrix outfit there. I tell you, I was wow. Somebody's probably she's not dragging a gimp
That
behind her.
that was
That was
that
quite the
was some
bra.
out that was some outfit.
Yeah, quite the bra.
Um Look,
I'm a Rhea Ripley fan, but damn.
I think we need to understand now where we stand with the Judgment Day. Okay. Damien, and we'll get to his segments in a minute.
Yeah,
Between the reaction of that Rhea's getting,
yeah.
and even when Damien came out, like he got a sizable pop. Later on in the night,
It seems you on that team, on that Judgment Day team, you have two baby faces and the rest heels.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think when this eventual split happens,
Oh yeah.
I think they call themselves the Terror Twins,
Okay.
Damien and Rhea.
Yeah.
Okay. They will still stick together, kind of be loosely associated.
Yeah.
They'll go one way
Yeah.
and the rest will go another.
Yeah. I'm going to see where the Judgment Day goes after this, actually, because when they do break up, I wonder what they're going to do with Finn. Because I would really like to have, I would like to see Finn do a similar singles run like he did in NXT
So
when he came back.
I have the answer.
Sure.
The best way you do the Judgment Day thing, because you've already effectively turned Damian Priest babyface.
Naturally, too. It wasn't
You've,
exactly one of those things you kind of
yeah,
forced.
yeah. Basically, since WrestleMania, you've
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
You've organically turned Rhea.
Yep.
Okay. So what you do is you have Finn or Dom now take control of the Judgment Day, and your breakout star you want to build out of the Judgment Day next would be your JD McDonough or your Dominic Mysterio.
I
Because
think,
Edge's original version was to get Damian and Rhea over.
yeah, it's
It
true.
took it took a couple of years,
Yeah.
but it happened.
Yeah. Uh, so we'll start off with how this really opened up. Rhea came out looking very dominatrix, like as we said. Um, Comes out to a standing ovation. Simply put, mommy's home. Damn right she is. Started talking off about Liv Morgan, how she basically wants Liv Morgan at SummerSlam for that title, which prompted Dom to come out to try to basically beg for forgiveness. And I mean, we found out what happened at the end of the night there too, but we'll get to that in a little bit too. Um, Dom comes out profusely apologizing, calling her mamacita, mammy, all those cute little words that some people like to call their wives or whatever, which prompted Liv to pop on the screen.
Couldn't be me, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't down that bad.
I wouldn't do that either, but still kind of cute.
Oh,
Uh,
and it's adorable.
like
Because Dom still looks like he's 12 years old.
he does. He looks like he just got pubes. Uh, like but Liv comes out and Liv's just like completely acting like it dawned on me right now. It dawned on me while watching this segment. who Liv Morgan reminds me of now. I couldn't figure out for the while, but figured out who she reminds me of. She is Harley Quinn from the Batman series.
Alexa Bliss,
Psycho.
listen, Alexa Bliss has been playing the Harley Quinn look-alike for like literally like
No,
8 years.
look alike, but mentality though is Liv Morgan.
You
Look-alike,
you understand what Alexa Bliss turned into, right?
yes, I remember that too. But let's just there's no point about that. This is a different version of Harley Quinn. Okay, have you ever watched Batman? How different entities of Batman? This is
Yeah.
a different version. This is a different version of Harley Quinn. This is more of a This is more of a psycho role. Like hers, Lexa Bliss was more like almost like a scary version. This is more like a psycho. Um, what's it called? Single white female shit. So I'm looking forward to this match. I'm actually really excited finally for this Rhea match versus Liv at SummerSlam for the title. I don't think Rhea's winning in the slightest.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
think
whoa, 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 whoa.
I think Liv's gonna pull that win off. I have a feeling Liv's gonna pull that win off because
Do I need to
Rory
teach you
has
Pro Wrestling 101 again?
okay. Hold on, Mister Pro Wrestling 101 here, Mister. Oh, they beat the guy down on the Go Home show. Oh, they still lost. Come on, like you kind of got. This is a different era.
Nine times out of 10,
It's
you
happened.
know damn well.
I almost want to say it's 7 times out of 10 now because past couple pay per views we've seen, we thought these were going to happen, and guess why it didn't happen?
Yeah, but the one that you're referring to is Swerve and Osprey. That's in
Even
a different
still,
company.
even fucking other ones a month before that. But it'd be interesting to see
Anyways,
it'd be interesting to see what happens. There's
Rhea's
still a lot.
now
There's a lot
Rhea's
to.
now the baby face. Liv is now the heel.
It's at the point though too where you don't need where Rhea doesn't really need the title though. She doesn't.
Whether or not she needs the title,
She'll make the
it
title.
fits the story. It fits the story,
Of course it does.
and she's the most credible champion that they can have right now.
Let's make it a good case for this point.
Liv's making a good case, and I have nothing against Liv.
Yeah.
And she was a good placeholder after she accidentally on purpose took out Rhea Ripley for 3 months.
Wow.
Listen, everything in wrestling is accidentally on purpose, okay?
Of course it is.
But
We did find out though at the end of the night though too where Dom Messiah say whole night though too that had Rhea's his and all stuff. Rhea just basically said, "I'm not yours. If anything, you're mine." So seems like
they made up at the end.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of made up. I also see though too Dom still getting booed as hell, but being more of a face with Rhea Ripley. He's gonna be like them. What the hell's his name?
James
That guy-
Ellsworth?
That's it. To Rhea Ripley's like face version of Carmella.
I don't know why James Ellsworth was the first name that popped in my head.
It makes sense. It really does.
But I'm gonna give okay, so let's move on to Damian Priest because I'm gonna give him some fucking chops right now.
All right. Well, let's we're gonna do all the Judgment Day stuff. Then we're going through the rest of Raw because to be honest, the rest of Raw was really good, but they're just gonna stick the whole Judgment Day stuff here. Let's talk Damian Priest. You want to take Damian Priest and Gunther, or how jokey Damian Priest was all night?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna start with the little segments first, then we'll get to the big one.
All right.
So after the first segment, Rhea slams the door in Dom's face, and Damian's there laughing his ass off.
He threw flowers at him after.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Middle of the conversation.
Yeah, Priest is trying not to break character and laugh.
Oh no, he was already laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
And then Dom approached him later in the night and he said, "Why didn't you warn me?" And again, Damian holding him accountable.
Yeah, I
You know,
told you. I tried to tell you all night.
you lied to me about contacting Rhea. You had this coming.
Well, and then
And then
Jay,
also catching up with Rhea in my favorite line of the night. Rhea just straight to Damien.
yeah,
Why is Carlito hanging out in our clubhouse?
yeah,
Oh, that's a long story.
story. That's a long story. I
Oh,
always like the Damian Priest part too, when he's like, when Jay Uso goes up to Damian Priest and that's with Dominic too. He goes, "Hey man, you tell me that. Let me know if is Rhea single, Rhea single." And Priest is like, "I don't know. You gotta find out. I'm not too sure." Just gaslighting poor Dominic.
not
You
even
know,
gaslighting. I don't think that's the right term, but no, he trolled the fuck out of Dom all night.
oh, he trolled the hell out, of which pushed Dom into a match against Jay. And like even
Yeah,
Rhea, even Rhea was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you
right.
doing
So
this?"
Jay anyways, Jey Uso ends up winning after another distraction from Liv Morgan, um, who again falls on Dom falls on top of Liv again, but he tries to actually get up this time
Yeah.
before she switches on him.
Mhm.
And then Rhea's music hits and chases off Liv. Dom gets back in the ring. Jay hits the spear. Splash. It's over.
He's staring at Rhea the entire time, trying to get her.
Yep.
Although,
And then at the end, he was like,
yeah,
call you boy.
although I do have a feeling though too, maybe Dom might not be joining Rhea. They might pull the whole Dom, you don't believe in me kind of thing. Because every time he takes a certain match, Rhea like goes, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that?" It's like she has
Well,
no faith in the guy.
yeah, because I guess if you rewind to re WrestleMania and Dom taking the match with Gunther,
Yeah.
um,
Ugh.
but yeah, anyways, let's get to Damian Priest, the serious part of Damian Priest tonight.
Yeah, because
Because
that
I did want to talk about this promo because
yeah, because that got pretty heated. Like,
and this kind of hit home too because there was a line that Gunther used
there's a part where he called
that
Damian Priest trash.
no,
Okay.
no, it was a couple lines before that, but the fact that he said living on the streets is a choice and
It's kind of hard.
it's well no,
That's a
so
that's a yes and
given
no.
given what I do for a living,
Yeah.
I can tell you that that is not always the case.
No, yeah, it's a yes and no thing. Like, yes, it is, and no, like, most of the time I say it's probably not.
But that yes probably applies to maybe 5% of that
Yeah,
population.
absolutely. The ones that want to live
Um,
off the grid.
right. Or whatever. They just enjoy a minimalist life, and that's cool. Um,
So many times where I wish I had a cabin somewhere and just leave all you behind.
that's it. Um, but I mean, again, as much as I enjoy watching Gunther in the ring, I think he's actually effectively done a good job of pissing me off as a fan and makes me want to see Damian Priest kick his ass at SummerSlam.
Well, that's just it too, right? We were talking off the show
I
too,
know
and we've been talking for like a lot of people have been talking for a while too. The Gunther is, for most part, the heavy favorite to actually win this, and not just like by whatever betting you want to talk about there, but like legitimately, is he's been kind of crowned the new champion.
he was crowned world champion before WrestleMania.
Yeah, he was crowned world champion before, well, he still had the IC title.
Yes.
So like this is back in like even by the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like even if he would have won the Rumble, you could have argued he could have beat. I mean, I don't think he would have beat Reigns, maybe. Well, maybe he might have been beat Reigns. Who knows? But like,
See, that's a money match I want to see before Roman hangs it up for good.
yeah, like I'm thinking though too after tonight though with this whole thing with promo and after what happened, I'm not convinced anymore that Gunther will beat Priest. I'm almost convinced, and Priest's run so far as the champion has been good. It's not like it's been crap. It's been
So exactly.
good. Like when Gunther said he hasn't been great. I mean, that's just a shot, but it's
But
not criticism.
I also think a part of this, Gunther for world champion agenda, right?
Yeah,
Don't worry, I was on that train too.
a lot of
But
people are. It's. I mean, you're not the only one.
so here's the way I see it now. I think a lot of people, including myself, didn't anticipate Damian Priest becoming a babyface over the course of this title reign.
I
I
I
don't I don't think people I don't think people like counted on Damian Priest showing that he can cut a halfway decent promo.
I don't think anybody counted on Priest holding the title as long as he has so far.
That too. Because again, you could have done the switch to Jay and used Jay as the transition.
Yeah.
But now, by the time SummerSlam rolls around, Priest will be champ, what, 4 months?
Let's see, April, so May, June,
April
July,
6th
August.
to
Yeah, 4 months.
3rd. Four
Yeah,
months.
just a little over 4 months. Yeah,
Yeah. And so like that's a halfway decent reign.
yeah,
It's almost
that's
like he'll get 100 days out of it.
yeah, like that's pretty. Like it's good. And to be honest, I kind of want to see. I think there's a few. I mean, there's a few matches I like to see with Priest. I mean, you can always. I think I I almost think that is Priest is going to hold that title till Berlin, and I think that's where they're going to crown Gunther. I think that's more likely right now. And they might do it.
Actually,
They might do it with possibly Dragunov in there as well to eat the pin to say to kind of.
no. So look, I think Dragonov walks out. I know I was really high on Breaker, but you throw Dragonov into this three-way.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. I thought about that too. And
I think Dragonov ends up defending the Intercontinental title in the main event of Berlin.
yeah, speaking of which, we're just gonna transition right into that, and then because tonight's main event was Sami Zayn versus Dragunov. Excellent
Oh, by the way,
match.
just before we move on, Priest looked fucking awesome against Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
Braun Strowman bumped his ass off for Damian Priest.
he did.
Okay.
Uh,
And just I under I understand the dynamic of pro wrestling, but still watching Priest hit that choke slam on Braun Strowman.
South of Heaven.
Mwah. Chef's kiss. Yes.
It's good. But moving on though with Dragunov and Zayn tonight. Good match. Like these two guys, I mean, they know how to work.
Too short.
Too short. Um, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't see this coming though, especially considering they banned Braun Breaker from the building early night from Adam Pierce did that. Kind of saw this one coming, and I was excited about.
Especially since when has that ever worked with Braun Breaker?
When does it work? It worked really with anybody.
No, no, it works with people.
Some people.
Just the people that you actually don't want to come back for storyline reasons.
Yeah,
Braun Breaker has shown that he does not give a fuck.
yeah, and Braun Breaker. Like I thought about this night too, watching this match.
What's Pierce gonna do, huh?
Well, nothing.
What's Pierce gonna do? Fight him again?
Yeah. I mean, I was watching this match too. I thought to myself, there's a good possibility that Dragunov might actually win this title at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be a triple threat.
Oh, at SummerSlam, yes.
I think Dragunov's going to win this title at SummerSlam because it could further the. You can get another match out of both these guys, single ones, with Dragunov as an IC champion.
Yeah.
You could
And trust me,
do Dragunov versus Braun Breaker at Berlin if you wanted to.
yeah. Or you could do the rematch with Sammy.
Yep.
Um, and that's the thing. They could save something like Gunther and Dragunov for like a Mania if they want to.
You could do that and save it
Um,
with a title with the world title on the line. I mean,
with
because
or with not, with or without.
yeah,
Um, but I like how earlier in the night, Sami Zayn acknowledged the threat that Dragunov is,
Yep.
and how Dragunov was trying to kind of like reassure Sammy that he didn't help him with Braun to get a title match.
Yeah.
Because again, wrestling 101.
Hmm.
If you watch enough, usually there's ulterior motives to people helping out champions,
Absolutely.
right? Like anything in life, you help someone out that's in a higher position than you, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah, this is always the case in real life, but sometimes it is.
I know, I know,
Uh,
but the idea remains the same.
yeah. So I think we're both quite in the cahoots the fact thing of that fact that it will be a triple threat match at SummerSlam. I wouldn't be upset with that in the slightest.
Uh, I want to go Wyatt 6, then we'll finish with McIntyre.
Okay, before that though, Selena Vega versus Selena. Sorry, so Selena Vega versus Sonya Deville. Deville's first match, full match back. Sonya Deville won. Good for her. Then later on, her cohorts.
That might be
Uh,
the first Sonya Deville match I've seen since before the pandemic.
yeah, her cohorts Stark, Zoe Stark, and Baszler beat Katana Chance. Although that so-called keg stand finish they have off the top rope was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It shows off the athleticism of Katana Chance,
yeah,
but that new finish that Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler
yeah.
have,
I saw. I thought it was
the the
awesome.
the pop up into the knee.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. Um, Looks like we're getting Sheamus also in a mini feud, probably just for TV. Maybe they might do something at SummerSlam. Between Pete Dunne, a heel Pete Dunne too. He attacked Sheamus tonight.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm looking forward to a
then
heel Pete
Kaiser
Dunne.
might not be back anytime soon. Then
No, heel Pete Dunne. Well, yeah,
Kaiser might not be back soon.
that is true. And also,
Although
um,
Kaiser hopefully is clear for Berlin, and then you can do the Sheamus match there.
they also have the big strong boy. Tyler Bate is out for a while too, extended period of time, from what I understand. So
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
yeah, turning Pete Dunne heel. If you saw his heel work in the UK before, like the whole Tyler Bate feud originally, in the UK, like a number of years ago, it was good. Uh, Pete Dunne's a good heel. Plus, you saw it in NXT as well. It's a good
Yeah,
heel.
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to this match. I couldn't be surprised if they do this at SummerSlam too, but it'd be cool for like a few weeks of TV.
yeah, absolutely. Um,
Uh,
Bronson Reed picking up the win, by the way.
yeah, well, no, Bronson Reed lost to Sheamus,
Oh,
um,
okay,
left Sheamus
and hit the
laying.
tsunami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really hope they do something with Bronson Reed. I really, really do.
I looked away for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's fine. I like Bronson Reed. I really hope they do actually something with Bronson Reed. I do like the character. I like Bronson Reed in general.
The thing is like there's only so much room at the top.
I know that's the problem. But I mean, I have heard there are rumors that the WWE is going to do some new secondary titles. Mostly, I think towards the women's titles, though. Mostly in the women's division, from what I understand.
Yeah, I've heard a women's US
IC
and
and US,
Intercontinental title
which I wouldn't be upset about.
maybe in the works.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be upset by that. It gives
Um,
women more things to shoot for. Because let's be honest, at the top right now, unless you're going to keep on feeding people to like eventually Rhea or Bailey, I mean, or Nia Jax or Stratton, because one of those three are going to keep the title on SmackDown for sure.
I think, but I think it's okay when you consider, because this is actually a good time to bring this up.
No,
When you look at what's on the way, you have Julia on the way.
that's NXT, I think.
Doesn't matter.
That's
This is still over the next couple of years.
yeah. You have
You also just signed Stephanie Vacure,
yeah, who's
who
did at
appeared at the
Mexico
live
show.
events in Mexico.
Yeah, she had a very good reaction, from what I understand.
Yeah. Um, but
And apparently,
also
did you hear about this
also
though
they're
too?
working with
Did
what's
you
up?
hear about the Stephanie? Did you hear that Stephanie Bakir didn't even consider AEW's offer? Apparently,
Yeah, I've heard other things about that, but I'm not gonna speak on it because I saw it from one person and it's not a credible source.
Well, what was the thing you should have heard? Because I don't
I'll
even
tell
hear it.
I'll tell you off recording.
Oh, okay. Is it bad?
Uh,
Greasy?
come see, come saw.
Oh, that's how you feel about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like
But also like the work with Rossi Owagawa's Marigold promotion.
yeah.
I think you're gonna have a healthy women's division, and people gotta stop getting fucking hurt too.
Well, you know what? Some of
But
the like to be honest, they're the women's division now compared to what it was. Well, you know what? It's very similar to the Trish Stratus Lita era, like with Mickey James, Victoria, Jazz, uh,
Molly Holly,
Molly Holly. It's very similar, very competitive, very intriguing, very good wrestling,
way better workers.
way better work. I mean, like, but it was different eras too, right? Like the Divas division was
Sure.
kind of like a fart that lasted for
So
years.
like also consider how good the women's division has been with no Charlotte, no Oscar.
Yep.
You have three of them in Sky, Kai, and Sane all tied up in a faction.
You have, I mean, there's also been no Mercedes. Well, Sasha Banks. Let's call her Sasha Banks.
No Mercedes.
Yeah, and she's in AEW,
Um,
and she's
like
doing all right.
and you still have Kiana James on the way. You and then you look down in NXT, what's up coming up the pipeline?
Well,
You
yeah.
got Roxanne Perez, you got Kalani Jordan, you have Sol Ruka,
Plus, you might also have to, if rumors are true,
Jordan Grace.
Jordana Grace maybe join WWE when her contract expires. This is almost like maybe I say maybe because there's no actual confirmation on
The
this,
women's division has a very, very strong and bright future
and it's being guided by some very good
to the
people.
point you're going to move into a new era. Oh, by the way, we didn't even mention Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. That's
There,
how
it
deep this women's roster is, so
well,
goddamn deep
this
right
is
now.
all. It's also one of the reasons too where the Cody. Did you see the Cody Rhodes Bailey? What do you want to talk about episode on YouTube?
No.
Take a look at it. It's actually really interesting. It's Cody Rhodes talking with Bailey. It's a new show that they have. I guess it's called "What Do You Want to Talk About?" He's talking to Bailey. Bailey made reference there how it's been a while now since they've done a women's evolutions pay per view. You have enough people and enough very talented women in that company now where you could do another one and maybe almost do it like a yearly event.
I'm gonna throw this out to you just because we're on the topic of women right now.
Sure, we'll do this right before we get to
Yeah,
Wyatt, Sick,
yeah,
and Drew.
yeah.
By the way, guys, if you're liking the content right here, make sure you subscribe down below here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get a small click for you guys and a big click for us. We love you lots. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the views. Thank you for all the things. This is a growing channel, guys. We are growing. It is a grow. We are like a small little plant. We're growing to make it bigger. Anyway, you're saying.
So for anyone that listened to Friday's show where I went solo,
Did you do a
the
good job,
fact that
everybody? Let us know in the
Tiffany
comments.
Stratton,
Tiffany
yeah,
Stratton.
um, yeah, Tiffany Stratton brought up Trish Stratus again.
Yeah.
Do you actually think it's a possibility that we see Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam
Well,
or at some point this year?
okay. Let's go back a couple of years. Just a
Mm-hmm.
couple.
Mm-hmm.
Lita came back and she did a fairly on and off run. Trisha's kind of doing the exact same thing now as Lita did. So if you can get those, and all Trisha's really going to do, Trisha's going to go there. Trisha's not going to win a title. I don't see that happening. Maybe, but I don't see it happening. She's going to be there to help the women's division and put them over. That's what she's going to do. She's going to be literally there to help. She's not Trish. I follow Trish on Instagram, on Twitter, sorry, X, and she's very, very happy, from what I understand, being a mom. and being home a lot with her kids and
Sure.
her business with their yoga company in Vaughan, Ontario. So she does this a few times a year. It's to
Yeah,
build a few stories. Trish is not much older than me, so she can
I know. And
she can still do it. She
here's what
looks
I'm saying
phenomenal
though.
for her age too.
Here's what I'm saying though. You can pass this off as her retirement match if you want to, because the story's kind of really right there, right? You have
Yeah.
the Hall of Famer who's said it all, done it all, and you have this up and comer who 2 years ago didn't know what WWE was.
Trish Stratton really has come a long way from where she was 2 3 years ago.
Right.
She you can tell
And
she's one of those
so I
women
think
takes well.
it's a
Perfect storm.
perfect
Storm.
passing of the torch type match.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see it. Where we see it, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Where it's one of those stories where like the veteran takes on the rookie but realizes they can't keep up with it with the new kids anymore.
Yeah. Where you have that match, I don't know. I don't
So
want to say
do you think
some.
it hap do you think it happens this year? Yes or no?
I think it does. I just don't know where.
Okay, that's fine.
I
That's all I
don't want to
wanted to
say
know.
SummerSlam. I don't because
I think it would have been announced already.
it probably well, not really.
There's 2 weeks left.
Yeah, we still, but I think it'd be more likely for a Survivor Series.
That's a very likely scenario.
I think they're actually gonna. I think if Stratton has that title and cashes in, they do the Nia stuff, they do they do the Bailey stuff, and then you bring in the Trish stuff. I think that's probably might be
I don't even
the
think
way to go.
like Stratton can keep the briefcase while she takes on Trish.
Mm, well, yeah, you could always have Trish also say, "I'll challenge you for that briefcase,"
That too.
because Trish never had a chance to do Money in the Bank, right? So
Right. But okay, so all right, that's fine. We'll table this for now.
we'll table this for now. Let's get to
Wyatt
the
six.
Wyatt six. Chad Gable calls out
Can
Bo
I take it from
Dallas.
here if
Sure,
you
you
don't mind?
can.
Okay. So actually, this started on
Who?
the Pat McAfee show this afternoon. This afternoon,
Yes.
they were interviewing Jeff Passan about the home run derby tonight. Which, by the way, go Teo! Congratulations.
Congratulations to Oscar Hernandez, former Blue Jay.
Um,
We miss you.
and as it had happened the last couple of weeks,
Yep.
the studio goes black and a blue screen pops up and says, "You lied," and then stuff goes dark. Uh, except this time, there was the same package that Nikki Cross keeps delivering to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee
Yeah.
was sitting in Pat McAfee's compound in the middle of his basketball court.
Yeah.
So they played that video on Raw tonight. My God, I just wanted to hug Eric Rowan.
Yeah, that was legitimately
That was deep.
yeah, that was and
Even Michael Cole had a hard time coming back from that.
yeah, that was one of those ones where a life imitated like um movie imitated reality. That whole thing was legitimately true. It wasn't even like
Oh yeah.
like it wasn't even an act. It was legitimate. And that's I think that's where it actually why it connected so many with so many people. It was legitimate. He legitimately lost his two best friends in a span of what? 4 years? 4 years?
2 years.
2 years.
3 years. What? December 2020 was Brody Lee,
Yeah.
and last August was Bray.
Yeah. So the span of what? 4 years, 3 to 4 years.
3 years. Yeah,
Yeah. That's like I mean, it does happen in life,
that's tough.
unfortunately. it does happen with a lot of things in life, unfortunately. But it's not one of the like, especially men who are very, very young. They weren't exactly in their 70s or 60s. They were legitimately in their 30s and 40s.
Brody Lee was like 40.
Yeah, something like
Wyndham
that.
was 36.
Yeah, legitimately in their 30s and 40s. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like why I think most people were shocked by it because it was very unexpected. Speaking of unexpected,
Yeah.
quick side note here. Apparently, Shannon Doherty passed away today. Not from
Sorry, who?
Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210. July
That means nothing to me.
oh sorry, that's past your prime. Beverly Hills 90210 was a big show back in the early 90s.
Before my time, dude.
Yeah, I know you're. I think you're still in diapers when the show was on. But yeah, everybody likes who grew up with that show. There you go. Anyway, back to the show.
Um, yeah. So then Chad Gable was pressing Adam Pearce, and he wanted to know
Fallout.
what the conversation with Bo Dallas was last week.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we saw Bo in the
Pierce
room.
was like, yeah, he was like, yo, like that's between me and him.
Yeah,
And then Chad revealed the worst kept secret in pro wrestling.
yeah,
I know who Uncle Howdy is.
yeah. What a dink.
Um,
Captain Obvious
and
over there.
and then later there was a segment with the Alpha Academy where even Maxine was like, "Yeah, we know that."
Yeah,
Um, to which that set up a 6-man for next week.
yeah.
But the thing that everyone's been clamoring for since Gable turned heel finally happened tonight.
It did.
Gable came out to the ring just before the main event,
Mhm.
called out Bo Dallas.
Yep.
Bo came out,
No
but he
music
was
either.
jumped. Yep, but he was jumped by the Creeds.
Yeah,
The three proceeded to beat Bo down, but he just kept laughing at them
yeah,
until eventually the lights went out.
yeah,
And here comes the rest of the WYATT Six.
yeah.
Scares off the Creeds and
I
Gable.
I really thought they were gonna get physical tonight.
I was hoping they were going to get physical
Yeah,
tonight.
I was kind of surprised they didn't get physical at all. But I guess they don't want to. You also don't want to damage this new
It's gonna,
faction right
but you
away.
know what? I kind of like where this is going because here's the thing: much like Bray had Bray Wyatt
Mhm.
and the Fiend, Bo now has Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy.
Yeah,
One is a lot more vicious than the other.
yeah.
Um, I do think that we see Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy at SummerSlam, or you see Gable and the Creeds versus three members of the WYATT Six.
Yeah, well, probably Uncle Howdy versus probably Uncle Howdy, probably Rowan and either Gacy or
Loomis.
Loomis. Yeah,
I would almost do it actually. You have Howdy and Cross on the floor, and you just have the other three do the match. Rowan, Gacy, and Loomis.
good.
Um, whatever combination
Yeah,
works, but
whatever
I
works. Yeah.
think that and I think it's fitting because Bray's first match was at a SummerSlam.
Mhm. Let's get to the final story of the night on Raw.
Drew McIntyre being a petty bitch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
All he had to do was say, "I'm sorry I threw your ass around all around Toronto,
yeah,
Mr. Referee."
yeah,
And we would have had Punk and McIntyre signed already.
yeah.
But no, they're going to drag this out. Punk's going to be back next week. He's going to cut another promo.
Hopefully, he
And
says
then
he's clear.
I hope he says he's clear too.
Yeah, because Pierce said he wants to see the match too. It's one of those things like he basically like flirted with it today. Like I want to see this.
Right. And so McIntyre being the whiny bitch that he is,
Yeah,
you know, again, refused to take accountability, which seems to be the ongoing thing about Drew McIntyre over the last couple of years.
It's part of his
It's never
character
my
now.
fault.
It's part of his character now.
Never my fault.
There's a few
Anyways,
other people I know.
Seth Rollins reminded him to keep his name out his mouth.
Yep.
Seth came down, smacked Drew around a bit.
Yeah.
Drew retreated, got escorted out.
Yeah.
He's still suspended, which means
Yes.
this match is going to get signed the week before Survivor Series
Yeah,
or
more
SummerSlam.
likely. Or next week, or a week before. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's the thing wrong. As long as the match goes off, it's just what really matters. So I mean,
but I think looping Rollins back into this last week
mhm.
is a means to an end.
Yep.
You can still do the Punk Rollins match down the road, but you can tease it now.
Yeah, which they
You can
did lately
tease it
last they did last
last
Monday.
week,
So
but you can tease it now. And this way, down the road, when the title gets back involved, you can have um, Seth and Punk. But it also provides Drew a good person to work with in the interim.
yeah.
So that's where I like where this is going.
Yeah. All in all, Raw was a good episode. Another good episode. Like it's really nice to see this is happening regularly nowadays. I mean, Raw was a good enough episode for me not to want to watch the home run derby.
Not to steal a line from Triple H, but like WWE's on fire right now.
It is like I didn't even want to watch. I didn't even watch the home run derby today. I would have watched that
Same.
over Raw.
Most years I try to sit down and watch the Derby, but
Yeah,
tonight I just wasn't feeling it.
yeah. A ball didn't travel as well as I hoped it would be. Well, I kind of figured it wouldn't travel that well. It's pretty dry in Texas at this point right now.
Where are they? Globe Life?
They're in Arlington.
Arlington. Yeah, ball doesn't travel that far.
Yeah, especially considering it's very dry in Texas right now.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why the Cowboys play in.
Don't. No.
It's why the training camp starts in Oxnard, California. It's not as hot.
Don't you start giving them fucking cowgirls any excuses.
It's not even training camp. By the way, NFL training camp starts in about 2.5 weeks. Everybody starts reporting at the end of the month. Looking forward to it. Then preseason starts, and the season starts.
Is there really much of preseason anymore? Isn't it down to like 2 games now?
It's 3 games, but at least it's the NFL.
Oh, okay. So actually, there was one last bit of news I want to share with you
Sure.
before we take off today.
Yes.
Um, College Football 24 came out,
I
or
saw
25,
that. I saw that.
whatever. The first college football game released in 11 years.
Yeah. I haven't played a
Are
college football.
are you, Andrew, going to get a next gen console just to play college football?
It's a possibility.
You need a PS5 or an Xbox Series S or X.
Well, then I'm not into much. To be honest, I'm not in much of a rush to go play it.
There you go.
Because college football to me, like, although I enjoy watching college football, I enjoy watching the SEC.
It's not the same as Madden if that's what you're gonna go.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same as like. It's fun to watch. I like see what goes on.
But for somebody like me who has played Madden for years and years and years now.
Yeah, I play Madden every few years now because I just got so repetitive to me.
I've played it every year for the last 10 at least.
Fair enough.
And some of the features they're bringing in to this new college football game is ridiculous. If you're the away team and you're playing at a loud stadium like Clemson or
let's say Michigan
or Michigan.
Grand Arbor is massively loud.
Right. Or Florida State, whatever. You know how you can hold a button before the snap and you can see your receivers and
Yep.
where they go?
Yeah.
Yeah, the routes are all fucked up and you can't see all the icons.
Fantastic.
So
That's
you
gonna
got to
piss
like
off a lot of
memorize the
people.
but well, you got to memorize the button layout.
That's kind of cool, actually, too.
That's why this is not your regular football game.
Feel this is something we're gonna test out for college football and see how it goes for Madden. Because there's a lot of loud stadiums in the NFL.
But you know what?
Arrowhead's one of them.
The only reason, because they emphasize it with broadcasts about how important the fans are, especially like with the big schools.
Yeah, well,
They emphasize on broadcast how important the fans are and how much a stadium atmosphere can come into play. The only time I ever hear it in the NFL is when people talk about Kansas City or Dallas.
yeah, but I wouldn't say Dallas really the crowd, the fan noise of
Dallas is
Dallas
very
affects a
corporate.
lot,
Yeah,
right? I'd
Dallas is
say it
very
affects
a very
Arrowhead.
corporate fan base.
You know where the sound really affected a lot was in Seattle
There you
during the
go.
whole Russell Wilson's early career, the Legion of Boom. That
Yeah,
affected the hell. I remember watching Monday Night
the
Football.
13th, the
13th
12th
man
man.
was a legitimate thing. Yeah, like I remember both even the Saints against them Seattle, let alone Green Bay on a Monday night.
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers couldn't even like throw the ball. This is going back a number of years now.
Right, but they don't emphasize that stuff when you're watching a broadcast. But I'll tell you, like, even when I played football back in high school, I was at a really good football school, and like we had big crowds for every game,
Yeah,
and that shit matters.
of course
Like,
it does.
you
It
know,
affects a lot.
I mean, I remember playing some tough games on the road, Oakville, Trafalgar, um, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Aquinas
Like,
had a good team when I was in high school.
yeah. But even Notre Dame out here in Burlington,
Yeah.
uh, like those were tough road games.
Mm.
But I it is a game I want to check out when I eventually do get my PS5.
Yeah, me too. I might pick it up. Who knows? We'll see.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. That was Rob. Hope you enjoyed it. Take us out there, friend.
Thank you for listening. Uh, if you enjoyed, hit that like button. Subscribe down below. Uh, if you're listening to this on audio, Spotify, Podbean, go find us on YouTube at DA Wrestling Podcast. Socials are uh, at DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. He is A Purcell 1982 on
That's me.
Instagram. Andrew at DA Sports on TikTok. I am D Lions 1991 on X, and we'll catch you down the road.
Have yourself a go, everybody.